Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video. And today, we're going to be revisiting the same thing. I'm going to be using the same slides because I don't have a lot of time in the day. I'm rushing to even get this done very quickly so we can move on with my life and do the things I can do before I can stream. So, this is going to be more of a breakdown, analysis, everything. But before we go into all that stuff, I'm going to preface this video by saying that my opinion will never change, despite what people on Reddit or people angry in the comment section will tell me. I'm never going to change my opinion. This banner is not worth going on. You know, 100% will always say that is not worth going on. It's just bad all around. So you can mock me saying it's a bad precedent, all that kind of good stuff, all you want. But I'm not going to change my opinion for anybody. I'm sticking to what I believe in. You guys can stick to what you believe in. That's completely fine. Do whatever you guys want, and I'll do whatever I want. But I just wanted to say that at the very beginning of the video, just to say that this banner is definitely not worth it. But I will break down all the weapons in a more serious tone. There'll not be jokes or sarcasm in this video. If you want jokes and sarcasm, you can go check the other one. So this one's more serious. So we're gonna look at Fiery Spirit Sword, two-handed greatsword, 190 attack, really high attack, 2 live burst crystals per turn, and has slightly higher variance than normal. And the special boost is Dragon Machine Killer 30%. And I think that this weapon is not very good on account of that 30% is just not a good number, guys. 30% is just not a good number. You want to have 50 or 100. Anything less than 50 is not so worth equipping unless you can somehow manage a way of getting 300%. Then of course it'll be good. But usually, I mean, there's a lot of weapons out there that have more than 30%. And having 10% more variance does not mean a whole... I mean, it kind of does mean a bit, but not enough to where you would sacrifice a lot of other things to just equip this. If this was 50%, this would be a really good weapon. But since it's only 30, I just can't say that this is that great. And I just don't see how you would ever... why you would ever need this unless you're doing Dark Visions. Because there's just not a lot of stuff that you would need dragons and machines for. So that's just my opinion and all that kind of good stuff. So that I'm not going to give any grades on any of these weapons. Whoops. I accidentally selected something wrong in the item world. I'm not gonna give any grades on these weapons. I'm just gonna break them down for you guys. So overall, if this was 20% higher, this would be a really good weapon. This would give a thumbs up in terms of analytical breakdown. But I just don't see if I was on the cheaper side right now and I got this weapon, it probably wouldn't even be used. I probably still wouldn't really even be using it compared to the other stuff that you get in trials and whatnot. So I just don't see myself ever using this. That's my opinion though, guys. And let's move on to the next one. Mine release Scepter. It's the same thing as Lizard Valus Stmr, I'm pretty sure. Very, very close. Except for the killers again. Now this is a different story because this is a magic rod. Like a magic weapon instead of a physic weapon where there's more killers. Magic killers are pretty rare. So I will say that despite it still not being 50%, it really should be 50%. It's better than nothing. I mean, you have to take as many killers as you can get in terms of magic. And there will be a lot more killers out there for magic, but not right now. And of course the global side's missing some of them like Cloud of Darkness and whatnot. Unfortunately, Cloud of Darkness doesn't exist on the global side. She has a lot of killers, very similar to X-Death. X-Death has a lot of killers. Same thing with Cloud of Darkness. She had a lot of killers on her Stmr, so that's really unfortunate. So this is a bit better, but not by much. I mean, Zyrus's Stmr... Actually, yeah, Zyrus's Stmr is actually better than this in a way, unless you need magic TDH. Because Zyrus's Stmr gives 75, I think 7550. But I think Zyrus's Stmr is just better overall. And he's been in the pool for a while, so you may have a few of him, maybe not. Not everybody has everything, but I mean he is in the pool, so this is not really that good, but it's better than nothing. I wouldn't select it though. Next is Radiant Sunbreaker, 183 attack, which is decently high, with 30% limit burst damage and 3 limit burst crystals per turn. If it wasn't for that, it would be really mediocre in comparison. It would be like a weaker version of Stmrs they were to have in the game, like AC Cloud's Stmr, for example. But this is a sword. I'm pretty sure this is a sword and the other one's a great sword, so it's something. And we also have 11's Stmr, so there's that as well if you pulled for that. 11 was good though, by the way. Just saying, you didn't pull 11 pretty much just for his Stmr. I'm just saying, because 11 was a top tier damage dealer when he came out. I'm just saying. And just, the special is just so bad. I mean, you can't even dispute this, sarcasm or not. 25% attack and magic true duel in this stage of the game is a joke. A joke. We're not trying to laugh it up in this video, but you guys, even if you're for this banner, you can't say that 25% true duel for attack and magic is good. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. If it was 50%, we'd be singing a different song right now. This would probably be one of the better ones to go for, but... And I don't even know why it has magic on it, because it doesn't have any magic on the sword itself. It has 183 attack, so the magic portion is just wasted. You're not even looking at that. So it's okay, but the special ability on it is just not good. 3 limit burst crystals per turn is pretty good, but you can get limit burst crystals from anything else. So again, I'm gonna picture myself in the JP side. If I got this weapon, it probably wouldn't even be used. It probably wouldn't even be used at all, because I'm only sometimes using Cloud's Stmr, the AC version, of course. So I'm barely even using that. So if I'm barely using that, then you can already tell you that I'm probably not gonna be using this one much at all. So no. Next is Arcane Angler's Rod. The same boost as the other weapon, 125% magic true duel. There's no point talking about. Actually, this one is, since it's very similar to. It has a special boost on it. Like, it's very similar to another rod in the game from a collaboration unit. I think Rab. It was Rab. He had a rod that was hybrid, but it didn't have any effects on it like this one does. 25% limit burst damage. It's much weaker than Sakura's Stmr, but I mean, it's an Stmr, that's still something. So 25% attack and magic true duel, it's still not so good, but if you pair it with Eldrin's TMR, if you got Eldrin somehow, some way, then I guess this would be a good combination with that. But that's the only thing I could ever say about this. If you didn't pull for Eldrin, and if you didn't get Eldrin, if you don't have Eldrin's TMR, then this team's really weak. I think you'd have to pair it with Eldrin's TMR to get that at least 50% bonus. That's what I think about that. Remember, the whole time I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing if I get this on the JP side, and in most cases I'm probably not going to be using it. So here we go again. This one's very similar to the one of the beach light. I think it's Fiend and Lid's Stmr is very similar to that. And yes, I do actually use their Stmr quite a lot for a lot of things. So I would say that I would be using this one quite a bit. I would say I would use this. So 50% defense and spirit is pretty good. I first like HP more, but defense and spirit is also pretty good. So this one actually is actually quite good, and the resistances are nice change of things. So this is definitely one of the better ones. If this was on the JP side, I'd probably be using this quite a bit. Probably not. I mean, obviously not all the time, but I probably would be using this quite a bit if I were to get this, if I need it for the resistances. Of course, it's based on everything's based on a trial setting. So if I don't need this for a trial, of course it's just gonna sit there. In comparison to a weapon, weapon might be getting more used than a materia. So there you go with that. Like for the Purge, this is the granddaddy of the what's the word I'm looking for here? I can't think of it. It's contested, like a contested item on this banner. And sorry to burst all your bubbles, but despite this might having dual killers, and yes, that's good, there are going to be materials in the future that'll have attack and magic on it and some killers on them. At least one or two, I can't remember exactly, but there's a lot of killers in the future trials that will grant you similar stats, not the same of course, but very similar stats. So despite this having 2 killers on it, which is going to be good in the future, I just don't think that it's that amazing. I think that people are overloading this one a little bit. I think this one is being overhyped just a little bit. Undead, there's almost no undead bosses except for Ashura coming up in the future. So the only thing you would ever want this for is for Dark Visions, really, for extra help. But since it's only physical, I'm pretty sure it's only physical killers. In fact, I think I'm gonna go check that out. Let's be completely analytical with that. Okay, I guess I just didn't write it down because I didn't think it mattered, but it's physical and magical. So I can see why people want it. It's because it's both, and it gives it 70% attack and magic. Yes, it's good. It is probably one of the better things in the banner to get. I just don't think it's worth spending 15k lapis of my lapis just to maybe get a higher rank at Dark Visions next time. Like, I don't think it's that much more important. You could probably get by having a little less killers. Like, it's only 50%, guys. It's not 75. If this was 75 killer, I think this would be like uncontestedly the best item on the banner. Like, you wouldn't even think about it at that point. But since it's only 50%, it's more reasonable to say that I probably don't need this. So that's my opinion on that. This one is basically Mestina's Stmr with different resistances on it, and I've used this not recently, but I have used Mestina's Stmr quite a lot on the JB side for a lot of other things, mostly on tanks. Actually, funnily, most of the time I'm using the resistances on tanks. I put 80 resistance. I put 80% on both sides, by the way. I just noticed that. Whoops. But yeah, I'm mostly using this on a tank, so the magic is not as important. I mean, if you're putting this on a mage, you're not caring about the resistances, so that in turn means that it's kind of wasted. I don't know when you would ever need this, except for maybe like lightning, like the new lightning would like this in a rear shift form. But for a mage, you want to go kill killers at this point, because like I said, guys, killers means a whole lot more than anything else. So let's move on. And I believe this is the last one. This is just Randy's Stmr, but it's just for cannons, and I just don't see you would ever need this. It's just EPing. It's win more stats. You don't need these stats. It's nice to look at, but in terms of battle, you probably want to equip a killer instead of some kind. So this one's definitely a thumbs down, not so good. I have Randy's Stmr on both sides, and neither has seen much use at all. Maybe in the early days when he was out and it was good, and killers were not nearly as important as they are now, it was good. But nowadays, no. Probably one of the weakest choices on this banner. So really, as most of you probably have, wait, isn't there more? Is there more? Oh, whoops. That's not a side we want to go to. I thought, because I saw that. So let's just wrap this video up. This is a lot longer, but of course, because I broke all the weapons down. So overall, guys, I was thinking the whole time. I know I wasn't saying it very much, but I was thinking the whole time, am I gonna use this on a JB side? And most of the times they came up as no. And I'm not saying that just to be hateful or anything. I'm actually being down the middle, non-opinionated. I am kind of opinionated, but at the same time I'm being like unbiased. I'm still saying that I'd probably almost never use any of these except for maybe the Purge one, but overall I just don't see what I would like spend 15k lapis. I'd rather just earn them in the game, guys. I'd rather earn those in the game than spend 15k lapis. I'll keep my 15k lapis, and hopefully you will too. But if you did pull in the banner, I'm not gonna shame you. I'm just really upset that Gumi made this banner in the first place. I'm not a fan, guys. I'm not a fan. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this more breakdown of a video, please give a like in the video, because there are some people that said they wanted this more serious video. So I gave it to you guys. I'm being more serious. Please give a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Make sure you hit the notification bell. It's not a meme. It's big. It's big importance. And if you watch all the way to the end of this video, make sure to type in hashtag serious mode activated. Not the activated part, just serious mode. Hashtag serious mode. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.